Good morning, everyone. I love seeing everyone looking so cheerful today. Welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, Kiowa, and Sugaree peoples. My name is Rhiannon Estwick. Good morning, everyone. Oh. Good morning to myself. How interesting. I'm welcoming myself. I feel so welcome by myself this morning. Rich, do I trust it?
Maybe she'll go away.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. As I was saying, my name is Rhiannon Estwick, and I will be the worship assistant for Reverend Dr. Amy Rio this morning. And perhaps this will also be the second worship assistant. We'll see. We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all our visitors and members, we're so glad you're here in person or with us online, and we hope to see you again. Your presence is a gift to us. Our announcements this Sunday. Our shared plate partner for this month is Beloved Asheville. Reverend Amy will share with us more about this organization.
I'm sure that most of us are aware that Hurricane Helene was just over a year ago, and the massive impact throughout the western North Carolina mountains is still quite prevalent. You might also be aware that the vast majority of the FEMA funds for relief that were designated have not been released yet. And one of the organizations which has stepped into this breach is Beloved Asheville. Now, as an Asheville native and someone who lived there as an adult for a while, I have some friends who were on the ground when Beloved Asheville began in 2009. Began with a small group of people that believed that they need each other and they could do far more together than they could do alone. The central focus is community, listening and walking with friends and neighbors, working together toward solutions based on the assets of the Asheville area. Now, from that small seed, thousands came bringing their energy and their gifts, their hopes, and their dreams. It has grown into a powerhouse organization, making a major difference in western North Carolina. It focuses on the areas of food access, deeply affordable housing, racial equity, healthcare on the streets, cultural celebrations, enrichment, and school supplies for children. Beloved Asheville works to create home, health, equity, and opportunity for everyone in their mountain home. They recognize these focus areas are fundamental to building a just and equitable society. Since Hurricane Helene devastated the area, Beloved Asheville is focused on providing essential aid and shelter while plotting a course for ongoing cleanup, long-term housing solutions, and inclusive growth within the community. Over 70 homes, both temporary and permanent, have been built by Beloved Asheville in the past year.
Thank you, Reverend Amy. Good news. Our Generosity Pledge campaign for 2026 begins today. Yay! Our generosity team would like to share a video which was created by Brian Medley. Thank you so much, Brian. They'd like to share a video about the theme this year, the power of we. Brian, again, thank you. That was so cute. All right. For other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of service, or if you are on our email list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Ooh. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. So sweet. Ah. Thank you to Rich and Gio for moving that so efficiently. I could not have done it. I would have fallen over. So, again, whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
As we light our chalice, let the light be a prayer for us. Let this prayer empower us to fan the flames of our inner divine light so that we might help create a world where compassion is always cultivated. I invite you to please join me now in singing the words to the lighting of our chalice. invite you now, please rise and body your spirit for our call to worship found in your bulletin. Come into this moment as if stepping into a garden at dawn. Quiet, tender, open to what may grow. Let compassion be the flower we bend toward.
We return as if returning to the soil, hands in the dirt, willing to tend what needs tending.
Here today, we gather to remember the most delicate blooms require daily care. That attention is the water of love. That we are still learning how to care. Come.
Let us begin again with love, tending the garden of the heart and the heart of compassion.
Our opening hymn is found in our great hymnal, number 188, and we are going to sing that through 3 times. Come, come, whoever you are. Please be seated. I'd like to invite any young ones to come forward for the time for all ages. Good morning. So, how are y'all today? Fine? Right, is that fine or is that quack? They're cats. Oh, excuse me. They're meowing. So meowing is fine. Okay, I'm going to have a little conversation this morning. It might be I'm not sure how much cat language I speak, so well, maybe some of the rest of y'all can help me a little bit with the conversation. So meow. So, do y'all have cats at home? No? A dog? Yeah. Well, two of them? Okay, 2 meow meows. Oh, wow. I used to have 2 cats and 2 dogs, too. Yeah, so. Well, I wanted to ask a question this morning. There's a big word we're going to be talking about. And I wanted to talk about that word for just a minute. We're going to be talking about throughout the month. It's something called compassion. Have y'all heard that word? That's a really big one, compassion. I wanted to talk about some ways that we can show compassion. Now, some people think compassion is just being nice. Did y'all ever try to be nice to people? Huh? What do you think about that? Try to be nice sometimes? Yes, you're being very nice right now. Yeah. Meow, meow, meow. Okay. So, to everybody. We'll be nice to everyone, but being compassionate isn't just being nice. It's also about trying to understand what someone's feeling or what they're going through. Have y'all ever felt like maybe you were having a tough day and there was someone who really tried to understand what you were going through? Yeah? What was that like, Carly?
I was eating pants and I know I'm peeing.
All right. Dad's not translating for me either. Okay, so well, all of us can have bad days or tough times, and if we have someone not just be nice to us, but to try to help us understand, us and what's going on, that is really helpful. So, let me ask you this: what is something you can do today to be nice to someone else?
Play with them.
Yeah, play with them, especially if you see someone who wants someone to play with and doesn't have anyone. You want to play with them because you understand how that feels sometimes not to have someone to play with. What's something else we can do to be nice to someone else today or tomorrow? We can play with them. Could listen to them. Especially listen to your parents, right? Yeah. What about if someone's sad? What could we do to be kind to someone sad?
Tell them to take deep breaths.
That's excellent. Tell them take deep breaths. Yes. What else?
Play with them again.
Play with them again. Maybe we could even just give them a hug, right? If they're okay with that. If they're okay getting a hug. Yeah. And just sometimes just talking to someone is all someone needs. So, okay, so y'all ever see cats play with each other and take care of each other?
Play with each other.
Yeah, they play with each other too. So,
I see my cats wrestle play.
they wrestle play. Cats do like to wrestle play. Yeah, and we got to make certain how we play with each other is how they want to play. Yes.
I'm going to tell you where I've seen cats play with each other. At the Brophies.
Oh, cats play with each other at your friends.
The cat cafe is where you also see everybody play with cats.
I have heard about cat cafes where all the cats can play together. Downtown Asheville. There's one in downtown Winston-Salem, real close to where I live too. Probably there's ones in Charlotte, right? Yeah, and Concord. They're all over the place. So, well, I want to thank you for talking with me this morning. And thank you. You have something else to say. So, but thank you for remembering what it means to be kind and being kind to others today. All right, y'all can. One more thing, Harley.
Yeah, if people are angry, the best thing to do is say, take deep breaths. And at a water park.
So at a water park. Okay, if someone is angry, Harley has some very good advice. If someone's angry, take deep breaths, right? And I think that's an excellent idea. And yes, for some people, doing that at a water park is really going to be a great thing too. So. All right, well, thank you guys for talking to me. We'll let y'all go now. Thank you. At this time, we are entering into a time for ritual and sacred sharing. We share joys and sorrows, concerns, and milestones. We light a candle this week for Eileen at our Salisbury gathering, whose husband Ed passed last week. For Karen H., who with health concerns has some testing coming up soon. Eric D.'s father, Jim, with his ongoing treatments for a brain tumor. Susan B. with health concerns. And Julia at our Salisbury gathering will have a heart cath on Wednesday. We light a candle for the epidemic of gun violence in this country and for people willing to address it in actionable ways. for the immediate relief of the people of Gaza, for all who are being impacted by ICE raids and activities, for all areas of violence around the world, especially Haiti, the Sudan, the Middle East, and the war in Ukraine. And for our country during these very difficult days, that we might be able to reach into what is the best of us and to work towards creating a society which is filled with love and empathy and civil rights and justice for every single person. Now, at this time, you are welcome to come forward as you feel called to do so. I invite you to come forward along the far wall. We have our prayer stand. You may fill out a prayer card to place on that stand. You may light your own candle of joy or concern. You may place a stone in our shared water. We now light a few more candles for the things we hold in our hearts, which remain unspoken, and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. I invite us now to enter into a time for quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. I will sound the singing bowl, and then during the period of silence, as you do what our little ones instructed us, to take deep breaths, right? Just to deepen our breath, settle into our seats. I invite you to imagine that light, that divine light which shines within you, which is the core of who you are, and to send compassion and love and care to the very core of who you are. After a time of silence, then we will share in our musical meditation together.
A reading from the New Testament, the Gospel of Mark 12:30, 31. Jesus replied, "The greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second greatest commandment is this: love your neighbor as yourself. And words from Jalaluddin Rumi. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Come, yet again, come, come.
Thank you, Rhiannon. Those of us who have love for Anglican and Episcopal backgrounds really feel blessed to hear the gospel sung, so thank you. So as we are beginning a new month, we start with our new theme for the month of October, cultivating compassion. Now, compassion is a core value for us as people of faith. Being empathetic, having deep sympathy for another person. But compassion is not just a feeling. It also drives us to take action to alleviate suffering. Now, you might recall that our Soul Matters themes for this year are all action-oriented. Thus, we are exploring what it means to cultivate compassion. Not just talking about a noun or a feeling, but discussing how we can create an environment where compassion can thrive. Now, our sermon title for today is Compassion Begins at Home. Now, one of the two wisdom readings comes from the New Testament, and it's fairly well known, I think, to many of us. Jesus is being tested by some religious leaders of his day who are hoping to trip him up. They're trying to use a litmus test to measure his faith. Something that in my conversations with many of you have come from previous faith communities, which unfortunately also used a litmus test. And so these religious leaders of the time, they asked Jesus, who is a Jewish rabbi and leader, what is the greatest commandment? And he answers, we're to love God with all our heart and mind and strength. And then Jesus quickly adds on a very close second commandment, which is to love our neighbor as ourselves. Now, a lot of people have heard this last part, to love our neighbor as ourselves, and they've just glossed over the tail end of that. They think, well, second commandment, to love others. But it's really to love them as we love ourselves. And that is quite a statement. We are only able to love others as much as we love ourselves. Now, our society loves to talk about loving ourselves and self-care, and it's impossible to open up social media or the news without some kind of wellness guru saying that we should love ourselves and talking about ways to provide self-care. And the self-care wellness movement has become a billion-dollar industry. Now, I'm not here to diminish self-care or some of the wellness gurus out there, but what I'm here to talk about is that truly loving ourselves is instead a deeply spiritual journey. It's a deeply spiritual journey. Loving ourselves is not a destination. It's not something we say, well, I've got this. I possess this or have attained this. It's a journey, a lifelong journey. And what fuels the journey of loving ourselves? The fuel to this journey is compassion. If we aren't compassionate with ourselves, our compassion for others will be lacking. If we can't embody compassion for ourselves and for those closest to us, our homes, then there is no hope of creating a world where compassion is prevalent. Each one of us here, every person we know, carries that inner divine light, that light that connects us to the larger divine light of the universe. And that divine light we carry needs compassion. The core of who we are needs compassion. Our second wisdom reading is a few lines from Rumi. And you might recognize many of those lines because we sang a beloved UU hymn at the beginning of the service, which uses many of those lines, right? But the one line that's not in the hymn, and you might have caught it if you know that hymn well, the one line from Rumi, come even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Even if you have broken vows 1,000 times. Come yet again, come. So much room for compassion. No matter how much we might mess up, err, whatever we might do in thoughts, words, and deeds, the divine light of the universe invites our divine light to come yet again, always. So what are some ways that we can cultivate compassion towards ourselves? Now, I don't have a comprehensive list because we are all unique, right? We all need compassion in different ways. The ways that we can be compassionate to ourselves, they're going to vary. So hopefully these 4 different ideas I give can help spur you on to thinking about how you can show compassion to yourself. Firstly, we can speak kindly to ourselves. This first hit me when 30 years ago I had a very young, impressionable little boy who listened very closely to everything I said, as children are wont to do. And I was doing something in the home. I said, "Oh, Amy, that's stupid." Just talking to myself. And he's like, "Stupid, stupid." And I thought, oh boy, okay, maybe I should speak to myself more kindly because I don't want my son to think that's a good way for him to speak to himself, right? And I began to notice all the times, even if I didn't say it verbally, but things I'd say in my head or what I thought about myself, how negative so many of those things were. Some of the ways that we speak to ourselves, we would never speak that way to another person. And imagine if we're speaking to ourselves as a beloved child, a child who needs compassion and kindness. We wouldn't use those words or that way of speaking. So speaking compassionately to ourselves. Secondly, we can create space for compassion in our daily lives. Now, life can be so busy and hectic, and we can find so many ways to fill our time, yet we can always find even just a few minutes to be compassionate to ourselves. We can sit with a nice cup of coffee or tea, take a 5-minute stroll in the sunshine, listen to a favorite song, And then when we are able, we can have longer times of compassion for our spirit. Not just a few minutes, but extend that out to where we really are caring for ourselves and treating ourselves with compassion. In those first few months of the pandemic, like so many of us, I found myself at home and as a college chaplain trying to continue serving my college community while I was sitting in my home on using my cell phone or Zoom, and so many of them were absolutely falling apart, justifiably so, and was a spiritual leader, right? Very, very busy days, and one simple way I started showing myself compassion was I got in my car, opened up the moonroof where I could have the sun shining down, would drive 5 minutes to McDonald's and get a Diet Coke because they have the best fizzy Diet Cokes around. So that became a way to care for myself, to show compassion for myself. Just a short little way, a few minutes. But, the people who worked there started recognizing me. So it doesn't have to be a serious thing. It can be something fun to share compassion for ourselves. Thirdly, we create space to nurture our soul each day. Truly nurturing our soul. Something like coming together for worship with our church family that we're doing right now. Taking part in rituals which have meaning for us. So many of you have shared with me different rituals that you have in your lives. I think tonight with the full moon, something I always do on a full moon is I light some different candles and just offer some time and space to think about what this new season, this new month might be offering in my life. We might spend time in meditation or prayer or silence, showing compassion for that divine light, giving it the space that our soul needs. Or perhaps in sacred reading. As Unitarian Universalists, we recognize 6 different major sources for divine wisdom, and we know there's so much more than that. Connecting with reading or listening, different ways that wisdom can come to us for our soul. And fourthly, we listen to our dreams. Now, it might be a waking dream that we have, that we pay attention to. But the dreams we have when we are asleep are some of the most important ways that divine light speaks to us. When we're asleep, we can close out the noise from the day or the ruminations that go through our head constantly. And our dreams can provide insight and support for us, compassion that we need in so many powerful ways. This past week, I dreamt of my papa, my grandfather. Any of you who've been in the church for a while, you've heard me mention him occasionally. He was a United Methodist minister. We were very close until he died when I was 10. And I haven't dreamed about him in a while. And in this dream, he called me and reached out to me, and I have not talked to him in so long. And you know how dreams are, they don't make sense, right? But he was wanting to see me and to offer compassion and care for me. Now I'll keep thinking about this dream and working with this dream in the days to come. That's divine light, offering compassion for me in my world, my life, and what I need right now. So I want to encourage each person here in the coming days or later today to explore ways that you can cultivate compassion for yourself. Be very intentional about this. Maybe write down a list or put it in your notes app on your phone, whatever you might do. Be very intentional about exploring some ways. It can be some little ways. Maybe there's some big way you're thinking about where you can cultivate compassion for yourself. As compassion begins at home, it will spread out in wider and wider circles as it expands throughout our world. Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Come yet again, come. So hopefully, as everyone knows, our Generosity Pledge campaign for 2026 is kicking off this weekend. And I want to offer thanks to our fantastic team. Becky, I'll start right here, is the lead. And of course, Becky spoke to you for our generosity moment last weekend and last Sunday. And then yesterday, we had a fantastic picnic with a lot of people. It was perfect weather. But other members of our team who've been working so hard to let you know, Anna and Lori and Tara, who primarily attend our Salisbury gathering. Susan, who is the head of the Finance Committee, has also been just a wonderful part of this. And again, special thanks with Brian with putting the video, Rhiannon, and their ongoing wonderful marketing and graphic design skills as you look at our graphic design. So thank you. So as we continue throughout this month to have a focus at both worship gatherings, we are having a generosity moment before we have our offering to ask one of our members to come forward and to share about why they support this church financially. Now, today, here at University, Sandy is going to come in just a moment. Sandy is a long-term member along with her wonderful husband, Bob. And I want to invite you to come forward and share for our generosity moment.
Good morning. I get to turn around and see who all's here. My husband Robert and I met in Nashville, Tennessee, while in college, and we became Unitarians. And so upon moving to Charlotte in 1965, where he was beginning teaching at UNC Charlotte, the first year it opened, we immediately joined the Unitarian Universalist Church of Charlotte, which was the only one in Charlotte. And so years later, we joined with other UUCC members to form a UU church in this university area because we lived out in this area or further north, and we just felt like this would be a good location for another UU church. The complete history of this church is on our website under Members Resources, for those of you interested in hearing even more about our history. So in 1988, we actually formed Piedmont UU Church. The first years saw us renting various spaces until in 1998, this church was built and dedicated. And it was wonderful to finally have our own space, because the other places it was a lot of work setting them up for church and various things. So in 1998. So over many years, Bob and I have served 2 years in building and grounds. I still like to walk around and see some of the things we did during that time, and the changes since. I assisted with attic sales. That was a big thing. I served on various committees, led membership efforts, and our women's group assisted with very many special events and services during those years. This year, I have been so happy to serve on the fundraising committee with Becky and Anna and Katie and Carl and Nancy. Carl and Nancy, I've known, of course, for years from this church, but it has been really, it was fun, and it's been so great to get to know Anna and Katie and Becky and see what their abilities are and just their unique interests. So I've really enjoyed it. Participating in some way here is definitely helping, but also it will help you feel a part of this community. For years, I think at the other church we would go to the service, go home. And it's not until you get involved do you really begin to know people, which is great and fun, and get to be a part. You feel a part of this community. And it's an absolute win-win situation for each of us. Our budget provides us with a full-time minister, and Anne, our pianist, and wonderful office administrators, Deb and Allie. I'm thankful that we had air conditioning this past summer. And I look forward to the winter coming and having warmth, because I understand that we're going to probably need a new furnace and air conditioner put in before very long. But, besides this, there's lots of other things that, of course, our church building and the grounds provide for us, as well as helping us meet and serve needs in the community. It just goes on and on, our budget. It's very interesting. I have supported PUC even during times that Bob and I would be back down at the UUCC services. I feel that this is such an important community to exist. The Unitarian Universalists, especially I think in these times, definitely. We are alike in many beliefs and yet different in others, but we come together, as a community, and it's wonderful. I feel sure that you all want to continue to have a UU presence in this area, and it's the reason why we pledge. So please join me in supporting our pledge campaign as we harness the power of we for the future of this church, Piedmont UUC Church. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy. That was amazing. So, let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This month, we are sharing our offering plate with Beloved Asheville. Beloved Asheville is a unique and compassionate community-based organization that provides much-needed assistance to the underprivileged and underserved people of Asheville. Beloved embraces people of all ages, backgrounds, and social status. Beloved provides critical support such as food, housing, and mental health care. They strive to reach as many people in need by going out to the streets with free food and medical treatment. They work to make sure that everyone has a safe home to live in. Additionally, Beloved provides inclusive activities such as involvement with the arts and support groups for individuals to receive the help they need to get back on their feet. Our hosts will pass around the baskets, and we ask that you pass the baskets down your row when you receive them. You may place your gift in the baskets as they make their way around the room, and you are always welcome to give online at puuc.org on our shiny website, or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now gratefully be received.
We give thanks for these many generous gifts from your heart, gifts which will enable us to share compassion with the world around us. I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, found in our great hymnal number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath. Before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who help make our service possible on Sunday. I also ask before you leave today if you are able to help out and take the hymnals and place them back on the cart near the piano. That's always a big help. Now let's take a moment to give thanks, either in our hearts or with words for others to hear, for the things for which we are grateful today.
I'm grateful for the people who put together the picnic yesterday and all the folks who came and shared. Just having fun talking to each other.
Yes, for all the wonderful picnic yesterday, and especially Sam and Risa, as they always do, did our food, and it was wonderful, and especially grateful for that as well. The founding members of this church. Amen. Yes. Very grateful. I know we have so many more things that we are grateful for in our hearts today, and we give thanks for all these things. Let us go forth, cultivating compassion for ourselves as we share compassion and love with the world around us. Amen. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light and its warmth and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we may wander. May it be so. And for our closing song, we make a circle, and you may hold hands if you would like to, or you may simply place your hands on your heart.